talk quick. Hold on, let me do this real fast. Mom's back there. Mom's chatty today. Where's my library? Took Mom on a field trip today. Where is it? Ooh, the cranberries linger. Linger. She died unexpectedly. The lady that sings in the cranberries. Yeah. Where's my TikTok app? I already know celebrities are not very good people. Okay, so I got pictures of the sun. What if I go this one, and then that one next? Sun's kind of tripping out. Like I can see it doing trippy stuff on my camera that I've never seen it do before. Hold on, what is going on? Next. Loading. Okay. I think I'll do. Not that song. It picks music and I don't like it when it picks. Sometimes I don't care, but not today. Let it be. No, it came out of the sky. I'll take Creedence Clearwater Revival. It came out of the sky. What is going on with technologicals right now? Oh, we're in Mercury's in retrograde, huh? Isn't that a thing? Mercury's in the microwave. Do people mock astrology? And it's like you tell me your birthday and give me a few minutes and I will surmise who they are based on the brand of shoes that they wear. There is old TV shows called where happened to that song? Oh, it came out of the sky. I don't want sync. There. Yeah, I don't want a sync and auto cut and all that stuff. Sunburst. Starburst. Starburst. You ever eat a starburst? Starburst there. Done with that. Let's see here. I don't know. Alright, let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about some world events and how mature people are getting. Yeah, how mature people are getting. How nice. Because, you know, they all believe in a higher power that makes them nice and do good things. And that's why America's ending right now. Consternation of a nation is what I call today's talk. I've done some other talks with the same title because I don't like coming up with titles, and when you've done YouTube videos 3,000 times, it's 3,000 freaking titles I don't want to come up with, so I'll rename a lot of my same talks over and over, and then I'm making my own playlist. See? And so let's see what's going on planet Earth. We got fires, earthquakes. I keep feeling the sadness for Venezuela and all, just like being there. I'm fortunate I have not been around a place where they've had a mass casualty event where you smell things and you can't get things out. You can't get that smell out. You know, there's too many people that do unuseful things. And then when things like that happen, like Like the workers go out and help, and there's just not that many workers, and there's tens and thousands of people missing, and it's really quite unfortunate, but that's okay, because you had a couple that got engaged on top of the Empire State Building today. Hoorah! And they get arrested, but the entire Epstein class goes unevaded for decades. So that's where we are in America. People can't eat. They can't feed their kids. They can't put gas in their car to go to work to earn money because everything is so high. But the president's a billionaire. So there we go. That's the American dream, okay? You know, if you're a Nepo kid, you can do everything you want. But if you don't got that, if you don't got connections and support, welcome down here in the cracks with me. And I'll help you, teach you how to be comfortable amongst the poor, because you know it don't take a lot to be comfortable in life. And if I want security, I found by doing a lot of research that if I want to be a secure person within myself, that I have to go out and I have to find other insecure people, and I have to help them feel a little bit more insecure, and that helps me. Because I'm autistic. I'm just the most maskiest autistic bitch that ever existed. See, because I grew up watching TV, and I just learned how people wanted me to be. And I could tell how they wanted me to act by the expression on their face. Because I'm like, oh, Margie, that means, oh, they're mad at me, and that my behavior needs to change. And in order for them to like me, I better start acting in a way that makes them like me. And then I grew up. You tired, Ma? We went out to the creek today. The river. I took her next to up on the What highway is that? I'm not good at numbers and highways anymore. But out towards this, we didn't up the Taos Valley. There's a little stream, and they have all these camp spots. So I took Mom up there, and found a guy in the woods that sold 500 milligram chocolates. I ate a half of one of those about a half hour ago. I'm going to talk for a while, then me and Mom are going to find an old movie to watch. We watched The Goonies the other day. I haven't watched it in years. The Goonies. You know, I haven't seen it in so many years, and it just, I mean, that's like they keep people stuck in loops because of nostalgia. You know, I think about how much effort has been put in for people driving to the house of the Goonies because they saw it on TV. They do the same for Breaking Bad. Like, people get these invisible attachments where they, you know, they have to connect, and the things they connect with, like you connect in your own neighborhood. I just found out today, I was 52 years old, and I saw Stand By Me when it first came out. I wasn't a real big fan. I don't know. It was a coming of age for boys, and I wasn't a boy, so I wasn't my thing, and so, that, I went right past. I ran out of gas not too far from the bridge that they did on Stand By Me. It's in Shasta County. I didn't know that. That's where I grew up, but I ran Highway 89 up there. You do a big loop. And I went to, the night before, I saw Jimmy Page and Robert Plant at Mountain View, and Blind Melon opened for him. And I went for a drive, and I had too much to drink. And I had about a half a tank of gas, and I was trying to drive about 120 miles on that, and I didn't make it. And so, Highway Patrol picked me up. So, a guy in a minivan with kids in the back seat picked me up, but it was so black. If you ever go where there's really tall trees at night, it blocks out the sky, so all you see is a stripe of stars. It is a trip. It's a trip. And I got in the car, and he's like, it's just me, and I have my kids back here. It's okay. And I never saw the guy's face. Like, I don't even remember what they looked like when I got to the gas station and they dropped me off. And then the next day I just, I go on adventures in life, and then I don't plan on like how it's going to end up, and sometimes I get myself in some pretty precarious situations. So at least I set myself up pretty good to take care of Mom. Like basically, hey Ma, you want to go for a ride? We do whatever she wants. Whenever she wants. Whatever, if she's up for it, we're down. It's her life too. And, I remember when I was going around with my brother, and I was like, Mom's just going to have to come live with me. That's just all that she can't, somehow they got her in a loan for $700, and her house payment for her duplex is like $750 a month, and her income is only $9. So, like she's not eating, and she's not, it's getting harder for her. So have her just come out and live with me. And that was back in 07, 08. 2008 is when Mom came out to live with me. It's like 18 years, And like they've been, and I just take care of her, because the Social Security doesn't give people enough money to live, and she's been living off like $800 for years, and it's just like, well, I got it, I'll take care of it. And then her money goes to her clothes and whatever she, it's her money, and she don't ever have to worry about anything. And I was always told that that's what family was for, is that you take care of your family. Then I was born into a family that, like, Mom was adopted, so that's her whole side of the family that didn't take care of her. So it's like, take care of the do as we say, not as we don't do. And then my dad's side, they're all Freemasons, and I've been thrown away by them freaking years ago. They hated me longer than I realized that they ever even hated me. So see, because I'm autistic, and when people act real good, I can tell. I mean, I think that they like me, but then I figure out, nah, they're just bullshitting. And a lot of people are waking up right now. I'm getting hot. A lot of people are in their, a lot of people are waking up right now. It's the astrology. Like, you can't go through life with your head buried in the sand and watch people suffer on your streets that you drive by every single day without ever wanting to stop and say, hey dude, is there anything I can do to make it better? That's what Mom and I got my refrigerator set up, my car refrigerator, and I got my little itty bitty jackery in there, and it's set up so I can put food and stuff and make care packages, and when I see people, I can give it to them. Because our bills are paid. It's starting to get that hot time of day. Let me turn on the cooler. And so whatever excess we have, it's okay if we share with people that don't have anything. And it's always people that have never ever had to struggle in their life because they always had mommy or daddy or primo or whatever. They always had somebody bail them out. And I never had anybody that would bail me out. So I had to learn how to just take care of myself under circumstances where people don't give a shit if I'm taken care of or not. We're at that place in the United States that it's every man for himself. And I feel like it's going to be like this for a while. And it's still the year of the horse, so it's still a lot of people are going to get knocked off their high horses. How many people up in Aspen just lost a cabin, We lost our family cabin. Oh, do you have an extra house, do you? How many extra? Is it just in Aspen, or do you have extra houses all over the place? Because if you think about how many people have extra houses, there's a lot of people. Policemen, they have a lot of houses. Real estate, or military members. There's military members that PCS every 2-3 years, 18 years. They got houses all over the United States. They just turn them over to property managers and they're making bank. There's like Like they all these agencies and all these systems, we were made to feel sorry for them. Oh, they're just the civil servants. They're trying to do their best. It's all bullshit. America's a lie. And I don't celebrate holidays. Least of all, a prideful holiday. I don't think many people... The astrology is not looking good for the 4th. I don't do the 4th of July. I think fireworks are lame. I think watching things blow up and spending money on things that last seconds when people don't have clean water to drink is retarded. That to me is retarded. So, I'm okay with them canceling the fireworks. Because why? I'm an adult and I don't care about little sparkly things. And it's just other people that... I used to go, there are these people that do bois or dupuis or whatever in Omaha. And every 4th, there's all these pockets of people that just have these 4th of July parties because they had so much they just wanted to share it with their neighbors and friends. And and they would have these legit full-on fireworks shows in neighborhoods, right? And then they're still doing that. And I add up all the money spent in the last 12 years, 15 years, and it just goes to nothing. It goes to nothing. And then more people slip through the cracks of society. And more people are like, I need help, you know? Like, because it was so hard for me to figure out how to earn... Marge, how are you going to earn money when you can't leave mom and go to work to earn money? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to live? And I went on this course of just stripping away everything, just living on the bare minimum, the bare next to nothing. You know, my car got repoed. You know, but so I had to walk to the store every 3 days to buy dog food because I couldn't go to buy 50-pound bags because I couldn't carry it that far and stuff. I've never really been good at public transportation. I've done it plenty, you know, from Sacramento, and you take the BART. You catch the BART on the outskirts, north, up by south of Fairfield, but north of Oakland, and then you take the BART into the city, and it's a lot easier. Stuff like that. It always does nerve me going under the bay, though. That always kind of creeped me out, because I just don't have a whole lot of faith in mankind. Because look at where mankind's got us. The kind of man that's got us in the world where we are now, dude, it's trippy. Where I live, I'm never really impacted much by this stupid little local bullshit. In a county of 34,000 in the whole county, the size of Delaware, okay? People come here from all over the place to meander. It's a trip. To meander, to mosey around, to just, you know, do not much of anything. And the people that have lived here generationally, they also share in that sentiment. So, it was Monday. I drive by the construction site. There's cones up everywhere, and there's no guys. There's no people. There's no crew. I'm like, it's not a holiday today. How come they're not working? Where are all the men? It's not lunchtime. They start things and they just don't finish. It cracks me up. Now it's cold in here because I had the AC on. I gotta shut it off because we're into my bits, huh, lunatical?
Into your bits.
But I see cracks that are positive. Like, I watched a little kid today on a TikTok picking up garbage, and it reminded me of just like there's people that care. Like, they see something, and they see that there's something wrong with that thing, and then they just want to help make it better and fix it, right? Twice today on social media, I got to talk about my app idea. I have an app idea. I used AI to sorted out and stuff like that. But it's anybody in Taos County could go out using the GIS software that the county uses and AI. Just using your phone, you can pick up garbage. $15 an hour. 15 bucks an hour. And then we could give like tax waivers because you're bettering the environment. You know, it's a lot cheaper than data centers. And so young kids can go out and pick up garbage 2-3 hours a day, a couple times a week, earn money for school, for their school clothes. And you don't have to, you could be 88, you know, as long, if you can't be like 8 years old by yourself, you know, you got, come on now, people, whatever. They get stuck in the weeds. That's what the burr brats do. But there's a need for it. I have all these ideas that will add to a community, but first I have to figure out how I'm supposed to break through the gatekeepers. The people that don't want everybody to prosper. That the people that live in loops, the ones that are uncomfortable with change, the ones that just keep doing the same thing because that's how they always done it. That is nowhere to live. That's not evolution. That's stagnation, which creates the consternation of a nation. And so I changed my whole perspective today. I can do that. I have so much Gemini in me. If I get input and data, I'll change. I'll be like, oh my God, that's how my new reality is. Thank you for my new reality. And this dude was like, air, oxygen, because I believe water is liquid light. That's how I see water, is liquid light. I see the rainbows. You know, I see the no place space where all the data and all the information is held, and that's where people go and tune into when they meditate. Okay? And this dude's like, he's talking about air, the air that we breathe, and he's like, I believe the air is our consciousness. Two. And because what happens if you don't have air for like 4 minutes? You lose consciousness. You lose your reality. You know, it's a trip. And I was like, that totally makes sense. That consciousness is there. Is a see, and then I look at it like I talk about, but in recovery, I had when I got my first DUI, I had to go to like a diversion class in Sacramento, and I had this little teacher lady, and she was so tiny. When she got arrested, it was like her bragging rights story is that when she got arrested at the end of her drinking, that she blew a 5.0. That means half of her blood was alcohol. See, because that's what alcohol does. It takes oxygen, which is your consciousness, out of your blood and replaces it with spirits. That's why there's all these people that are like, I didn't even know I was what I was doing. Jesse Zaboter talks about the incantations that witches and voodoo and all the nasty, the ill intent put over barrels before people consume them. I wonder what she's up to. I wonder if she has any new material. I listened to her pretty steady for a while, but then I just hear the same stuff over and over, and I'm trying to move, and you know, life is lifing. So anyway, I know that there's a lot of unrest. I still see like so much positive. Like Neil, the seal, Neil, the walrus, Neil the walrus. He's a what is Neil? Is he a seal? Mom, remember the seal in Morro Bay?
Yes.
And we'd go Sugar,
Yeah.
and we'd go down and see Sugar because I get so overstimulated. Mom would take me down to the to the docks, and I'd go around bouncing from boat to boat, asking about the catch of the day, you know, and we saved a pelican out of a dumpster one night, walking around there. Yeah, lots of life experience. You see things in trouble, you gotta help them. And then I remember George C. Scott got in trouble, the actor, because he there was a really bad storm, and the Coast Guard said nobody needs to go in and out of the bay. Like they cut off access, and he's like, "Well, I'm George C. Scott. Don't act like I'm the." He was an old actor, and so he left and against the recommendation of the Coast Guard, and then they had to go save him. So yeah, it's called operational risk. People don't have OPSEC. Operational security, operational risk, there's all of them. It's just a bunch of different words for just pay attention to what you're doing, for crying out loud. Oh, me and Mom, I used to go geocaching when I lived in Omaha. I got my geocaching thing. I went down to Best Buy, got my little handheld device and everything. Back then you had to upload them to the device. Like I had to plug them into my laptop and then upload the thing to the device. And then I would go all over council, like Iowa. It was pretty fun. It's just I like looking for loot, and so they do have geocache. I think a lot of the places that they have geocaching here are in cemeteries. Like I looked, I think the first 3 I looked up around Taos were actually at cemeteries. And I just want to let those people rest in peace. I mean, I know they're not there, but there's so much spirits that are like unrested that just kind of. I grew up watching Frighteners. This is my program. I believe in all things possible, multi-universe. That for every perception, for every perceiver, that they're having their own experience, and it don't often, line up with mine. And Mom's. We've never like this lady made a TikTok, and she's like, "We've lived in this house 28 years and we've never seen the water. Pray for us." And there's like a trickle down the hill, and I'm just like, I don't think how many places have I lived in the last 28 years? Like there's this whole population of the world that has just lived in comfort for generations. Like they never had to worry about, you get a flat tire, let me just call my papa. He'll come out and he'll change it for me because my dad is the best. I'm like, dude, that shit only happens on TV. I got one of them deadbeats. That's more like how more people are. They got more deadbeat dads than the stand-up guys. My dad even calls himself dear old dad. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? I don't even, what? My dad's started, that's why I like going to steak dinners. That's my early childhood programming is that's where he took me. It was like my 12th birthday. Steak dinner. Cooking in Templeton at a bar. But I was with my dad, so I could go in. It cracks me up. You got all these, I just watch families. I'm like, you just live the same year over and over, huh? Like, they get their nephews and nieces the same thing for every holiday. And people just, because you did it once, it just worked just fine. So why would you go outside the box? Because people, the way I see it is, and as far as heat, welcome to the heat. Triple digits. There's a lot of people experience. This is just like what I've been talking about. Like, not everybody's having the same experience. It's not triple digits where I live. It's like, I think maybe it was 79 today. And then we drove up in the canyon, and then as soon as we got out of Succo, Arroyo Succo is what I call it, because it's Succo. Because they have Taos cow there, and that place sucks. Like, I shared on Taos County Reviews. Somebody made a positive review about Taos. I'm like, yeah, I went there back in like 2021 because I drove all the way out there because it was an outside coffee shop. And I was so fed up with the whole mask bullshit. And then I walk up to the window, and they had a sign on the window that said, "You have to have a mask on to walk." And I was like, "Fuck you, people! You're just people when they're fearful. They have to control everything in their lives, and that's exactly what's going on and why America's ending because people are like, Trump's afraid of dying." You know, he's afraid that one day he's not going to be here no more to be a freaking slime ball pig. Because that's what he's been his whole life. We either evolve more into our ego or closer to spirit. And look at all the people that got a taste. They got a taste of power. What did they do with it? They served themselves. They didn't help their constituents. So you have all these people that are so successful because basically America, what I see right now is America has too much freedom. America was given the freedom, and then the people got carried away about doing whatever they want, and now we live in a free country where people can go around and freely perjure the government. They can freely shit on the Constitution. They can freely start, they can freely do whatever they want. And what we're figuring out is how the consequences of other frat boys freely doing whatever they want trickles out. And there's decency, and the things that these people are doing are totally indecent. And it's like, it's that age-old question. How do you get back at them? Like, what do? You can't Mario them. You can't. Because you have to have reverence for life. You can't kill, thou shalt not kill, right? You gotta raise people up and help them prosper. But the ones that raise up, like the ones that feel extra small, they're the ones that are doing all this stuff right now. They're the ones, America's going down the toilet, it's over. America's not a respected superpower. They can't hold the storyline anymore. It's a story. Freedom in America, the American dream. The deck is stacked. The deck is literally stacked by nepotism. Like, all these people hired their buddies so their buddies can get rich, and their buddies aren't qualified to fill the positions, to come up with the solutions, to manage and lead the teams, to designate the work that needs to be done, to trickle down to take care of everybody, even at the bottom, because people that have never ever have always been taken care of and have never ever been without anything, their heart desires, it breaks people's psychology, it warps their mind, it makes them think that, it gives them like a God complex. I used to see that a lot around military officers. Have a God complex because they can designate who lives and dies, who's going to drop the bomb, and so they got a God. And doctors, because of the same thing, they designate, who lives or dies. It's my ability to save this person, right? It's whatever. But there's people that get carried away, and there's us that don't get carried away. You just can't imagine people that are like that. But guess what? I used to get carried away. I used to get carried away and get myself into some sticky ass situations. And it's amazing that I'm still here. Ended up in a warehouse party one night. It started out, we were on the Castro, me and my roommate Mike. Mike was in Desert Storm. He was butch. He was a white dude that, military guy, wore flannel shirts, t-shirts, jeans, drove a freaking Chevy Blazer, but he liked his little brown boys. He exposed me to so many things about how the world really was, because I was really actually quite sheltered. Okay, and so we would take off. He'd have a weekend off, and we'd take off to like um, uh, San Francisco. We'd gone a few times, and this one time we ended up on the Castro in this all leather gay bar, and I was the only chick, but they liked me. Okay, they liked me. Okay, I just didn't want to bother nobody. I just hanging out with my buddy Mike, right? You know, I just I'll leave if you want me, but it's okay if I could stay, because my uncle used to live there back in the '80s, so it was like. And so we ended up in this warehouse party. And it was like on the movie of Blaze. You know, right before when they drop all that white. It was like in there is this way. It wasn't all white and all clean and like that. But there was like dudes that were on the rafters that were like with angel wings that were swinging, like doing acrobatics and stuff like that. And I was just it was otherworldly. And I've been going to San Francisco since I was a 15-year-old girl, you know. Mom just let me kind of do whatever. Like, I don't know why you did that. Well, I guess you didn't have any choice. I just got to take off. I'd take off, but I always let her know I was going. I wasn't running away. I don't know what it is about with the runaways now. What is that? I'm Gen X, and I didn't have kids because I didn't want to ruin nobody's brain. I didn't want to, quite frankly, when I was like 15 years old, I was real mad at Mom one time, and I hated her. I had every hate that I carried up for 15 years. I looked at her, and I said, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And I just did with that, and then, what happened is she almost got killed. And it wasn't hate that I felt so much as I knew that what my whole life was gonna be. Like when she got hurt. And that's why I never had kids, is because if that kid looked at me and said and said that they hate me, admit it, like I said it to my mom when I was 15 years old, that it would break my heart. Like, and I that's why I never had kids. For real. Like, it would break my heart if my kid told me that, like, if I carried it, loved it, and stuff like that, and then said, I hate you, like, I would be devastated. So, and then plus, you know, there's nothing that I can do to make a world a safe place. And after what happened to me as a 10-month-old baby, there aren't really a whole lot of safe places in the United States. I mean, those kids that got found, I don't know. There's people. I mean, you let me into school. And just let me in the classrooms and look at these kids. I can tell you by looking at these kids which ones are in trouble are at home. I'm telling you, my psychic intuitiveness is just it's freaky. It's weird. I get it from my mom. Like, I can see people's behavior. I don't know why more people can't. Oh, my shorts came today. These are my new ones. What's that? Is that a safety pin? Ooh, it has a zipper pocket. Ah. So I have these, and then I have a black and white pair too. And then I'm wearing my favorite, my bird pants. My bird pants. These. They're flipping the bird. I got a pair of these, and then I went and ordered 2 more pairs. I told the dude today, I said, I'm autistic. That's what we do. If we find something we like, we'll buy like 4 of them in case something happens. Now the question is, do you wear a pair until the pair wears out and then bring out a backup, or do you bring all three into the rotation? Oh, Ma. Ma had a good dinner. She had salmon and roasted vegetables and mashed potatoes.
That's good. That's
She... Mom's pretty happy. You pretty happy, Ma?
fair. Yes. She's happy.
She's happy?
Yeah, she's smiling.
She was so chatty when I took her by the water. I'm going to buy a couple chairs. I'm going to get, maybe I'll do that before you wake up tomorrow because I got to go get yogurt or the next day. Before the holiday. I hate holidays. I can't. I just can't. I just don't think that they should ever do fireworks. Like, it's for such a small percentage of the population that it's like, ooh, ah, ee, ooh. Well, remember the bowling alley in Reading on Lake Boulevard?
Yeah.
Up on top of, what is that? Miracle Mile? No, is that Miracle Mile? Across from where Docks used to be. And they had a fire. I don't like noise. I don't like noise. People don't talk about that bowling alley very much. But I remember it plain as day. Plain as day. I was probably 7, 8 years old when we went in there. But I have early childhood memories. I have like memories from 2 years old, 3, 18 months. I don't have one at 10 months, and for that I am grateful. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out.